G'day, and welcome back to episode 27 of the Make It Rain podcast alongside Mayor's Manor, Anthony Collazo. I'm Joe O'Regan. No, I'm not Australian. Rain had 3 games, including 2 against the Colorado Eagles. Let's talk about here. Glove saving and beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 27 of the podcast. I'm a little bit under the weather, so if I sound a little bit raspy, that's why. Alongside Mayor's Manor's very own Anthony Collazo, I'm Joe O'Regan. It's still weird as heck saying Mayor's Manor, by the way.
It's weird for me, too. It really is.
I think we're all going to be getting used to it. Anyways, welcome back. This is all things pipeline related. For all things Los Angeles Kings related, just separated by the I-10, or maybe the entire country if we're here to talk about the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Let's get into the Zamboni cleaning. We got no time to waste on this one. I wrote nothing down with this, but there is something obvious. Jeff Malott has been called up to the Los Angeles Kings. And, of course, he decides, Brandon Carlo, let's throw the gloves and have a tilt in his first game.
Dude, what a fight that was, huh?
Yeah.
I saw, I forgot what Instagram account it was, but, they were comparing, Mike Malott and Jeff Malott, because Mike Malott is a UFC welterweight.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool, man, seeing Jeff Malott get into that fight. And, Sturm said in the post-game that he's happy for Malott, but he's a little bit worried that he's not going to see him again down in the AHL. Because apparently Tanner Jeannot is supposed to be out for a little bit.
Which is not a good sign if you're the Los Angeles Kings.
Or for the Reign, because that means Malott's going to be with the Kings.
Yeah, that's not going to help either.
Yeah.
To go on with that, what is Mike Malott going in UFC 315?
Yes, that's the Canada card, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, on May 10th, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. UFC 315, you got your own preview, except it was from his brother.
Yeah.
Just part of the game. Any other things that I am missing? Okay, you know what? No. Francesco Pinelli suffered an injury, what can only be described as an upper body injury on Wednesday night. He did return to the lineup Sunday, so nothing really to worry about there.
Yeah, not too much there.
Yeah. Outside that, I don't have anything. Do you got anything?
Nothing.
Anyways, before I blow over this, Anthony, how are we?
Joe, everybody watching the pod, I am good.
Good would be an understatement.
It would be. When we started this podcast, it was the end of the baseball season, and we were going into the postseason. And we have done this long enough where we have done this every single weekend up until, or the entire baseball offseason, and now we are back in baseball season.
We are back, baby!
And the Yankees are 3-0 to start the season. The Angels are 2-1, so we're both riding pretty high here.
I'm not riding high. We should have swept a team that won 41 games last year.
Well, are you riding high about Sunday night's game for the Reign?
No.
No?
JK. Yes, I absolutely am.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, we can get into our own reactions on Sunday's game after this ad read from Gowdy Law. We all know having a game plan is key when it comes to your family's future. Are you ready? Gowdy Law is here to help specialize in estate planning. Gowdy Law ensures your loved ones are protected from losing a ton of money in time to probate when you pass away. Just like on the ice, preparation matters. Don't wait till the last minute to make the right play. Visit GowdyLaw.com today to start planning for the future, get estate planning pricing, and a free consultation right on their website. It's literally that simple. The price is right on their website. Gowdy Law, make estate planning easy, understandable, and affordable. The link is in the description. You like how I'm just giving the unexpected everything today? I'm not doing anything normal. Anyways.
How about 3 home games this week?
Yippee!
Love to see it. You were at Wednesday's game, right?
Yes.
And you weren't at Saturday's.
Correct.
But you were watching it.
Yes.
Bus ride home.
I was half watching it, half listening to it. Shout out the I-395 for having absolutely zero cell service.
Well, you were up in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that is also true. Because who decides to live in Ridgecrest?
I don't even know what that is.
Everybody put your hands down.
Let's get into game 1.
Yeah, let's get into game 1. Midweek matchup. The Reign are back in black as they have a midweek matchup against the Tucson Roadrunners. All right, let's quickly go through this. Nothing until the middle frame when you guessed it, Montana Onyebuchi gets Tucson on the board. And after that goal, ding, 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 round 4 between Doty and Onyebuchi. I say personally, Doty is now 4-0, but this one's by decision, not by TKO. In the third period, Ducks legend Andrew Agozzino and Travis Barron both score empty net goals. Barron's came with 1 second left. And no, Martin Chromiak did not score a Chris Paul goal. Final score, 3-0 Tucson Roadrunners. Yeah, there's not much to get into this one.
Yeah, when my new editor-in-chief, John Hoven, called me after the game to explain some things with me. And, he asked me, he was like, how was the game on Wednesday? And I was like,
whoa.
The way I explained it was like a whole nothing burger. Like if your mom was to make you like a hamburger and it just doesn't have flavor, that's what this game was. The prospects didn't look good. The vets didn't look good. I mean, the only person who really showed up was Copley. And if you want to get like kind of critical, Jacob Doty, because that fight was
awesome.
Absolutely awesome with Onyebuchi.
Yeah, still not my favorite fight.
Really?
No, still not.
That one wasn't as good as the first one or the one with who's the
Tenorti.
guy? Yeah,
I still would put Doty and Tenorti.
But this fight it got everyone hyped up because if you know the history, then it got you pretty excited from last year. When I was up, I wasn't in media in this game. I was media, but I was sitting in a thing called the Sky Bar.
Yep.
Kind of on the side of media, and Luke Rowe and Caleb Lawrence were right below me. And when Doty gets into the fight and drops his gloves, Luke Rowe gets up and screams, "Oh, F yeah!" And he starts standing up, clapping like, "Let's go, Dotes! Let's go, Dotes!" As he's fighting, it was pretty cool.
To be honest, I didn't even see that, and that is absolutely I could. Oh my goodness. That is something I would completely expect Luke Rowe to do.
Yeah, Luke Rowe looks like a quiet guy, but like
he is not.
Yeah, he's not.
No way. Yeah. Anyways, unbelievably slow paced first period. Like in the first 5 minutes, how many stoppages were there,
dude?
Did we have I think we had 13 stoppages before the first media timeout, which is redonkulous. Just
it
ridiculous.
was pretty crazy.
It's like 5 seconds in, whistle. Another 10 seconds, whistle. Oh, 15 seconds. Shot, saved, whistle.
Yeah, Shaft was like on the broadcast.
Oh my God.
Shaft was on the broadcast and he was like, and another icing, and another icing. And they were going to have another stoppage in the face-off. And it was
one,
crazy.
Not 2, not 3, not 4.
It was nuts.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8.
I got
not
1,
9.
2, 3, 4. Let's get into the goals.
I got one more for you. Anyways, goals. Montana Onyebuchi gets Tucson on the board and breaks the ice into scoring. Kind of a shot that's thrown down low. And then Onyebuchi. So this shot, he gets a rebound back. Good pass by, I believe that was Max Zuber. Yep, Max Zuber. And Onyebuchi just done deal.
Yeah,
Scores.
Copley was just out of position. The defense did not do anything to help Copley out. Copley sliding back and forth like I would in Shell, where I'm just like, the puck went back and forth, and I'm just spamming my right stick, left, right.
Left, right.
Like, I'm just like, that's the way Copley was.
Nice precision rings, by the way. Anyways, moving on. Andrew Agozzino, Ducks legend, by the way. Empty net goal, fed up by Cameron Hebig, and then, wide open net. The only difference, he would have became Riley Grieg if he clap bombed it, and then he probably would have gotten cross checked by somebody. And then Travis Barron scores an empty net goal of his own. Time winds down. I mean, Walsh tries to kick save it like it's hacky sack, and it doesn't happen.
That goal is like...
And also, if you want to just play it all the way to the end, the only goal scored by the Reign was Taylor Ward into his own net after that goal went in. Got him.
Yeah, that goal is the equivalent. The last goal by Barron is the equivalent to like in the NBA where you're up by like 25 and it's like the last 7 seconds and someone shoots a 3-pointer and it's like, why would you do that? It's like, why? You're stopping the clock and nobody wants to see that except for yourself to stat pad.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, the Reign made one mistake the entire game and they were chasing that one mistake all day.
Yep, and it cost them.
It really did cost them because when you go down.
Flashback to me last week saying one mistake will bite you in the rear.
Yeah, when you go down 1 and you're having trouble scoring, you're really chasing that goal all game. It takes you out of your game plan, takes you out of your rhythm. And Sturm has said, on Wednesdays, the Reign don't play good. And he would explain, I would explain it after game 3, but there's an adrenaline issue, it seems like, with the Reign, where when the crowd isn't really there,
they're not really there with them.
they're not really there with them. They're like adrenaline junkies.
Yeah. And honestly, like from a college baseball perspective, I'm kind of the same way. Like, yeah, it's there. It's kind of there. Like, now I think I understand from a hockey perspective, at least during that 2020 season, why the Reign weren't good.
Yeah.
The Reign were playing at Toyota Sports Center, where they practice now in El Segundo, and no fans.
Yeah.
And the Reign played horrible.
Yeah, and like
I think the Reign were actually last in their division. They might have been second to last or something.
and if you're a baseball fan, it's almost like why sometimes when you turn to a closer, it just elevates your game. We saw Ryan Presley last year with the Houston Astros, now Chicago Cub. He was worse in the setup role than he was in the closer role.
Yep.
Why? Some people are just adrenaline junkies. They need to be in that closer role where everything is heightened, tensions are higher, and they get nervous, they get amped up, and they're just better.
He's kind of like me.
There you go.
I'm very much an adrenaline junkie, and I will admit that happily.
Now let me ask you a question. Back to the hockey game.
Yes.
3:24, I believe, left on the clock. Do
Yeah.
you believe Stern pulled the goalie too early?
No, he definitely did.
Yeah.
That is way too early. 3:24 is a jump. We'll get into Sunday's game. He pulled the goalie with 1:15 left.
That is true, but I think that game was a little bit different because of they couldn't get out of their own zone.
Yeah, that also.
This was a game where they did not have to do that.
However, this needs to be stated now. You don't need to pull the trigger early.
Yeah.
Wait, set up, and don't pull the goalie, honestly, until 2 minutes. I think 2 minutes is good for a 1-goal deficit. 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, that is crazy to me.
Yeah, he must have saw something.
If it takes you 3.5 minutes to score a goal with an empty net and an extra man, we got problems. We got massive issues here.
And that's what I was about to get to. He must have saw something where he didn't feel confident in his own team to score with like 2 minutes left or whatnot. Because it was an early pull in an offensive zone faceoff. And literally right after he pulled him, that's when the empty net goal happened. It happened like 10 seconds after the pull.
Exactly.
He did not need to pull that early. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
He's an AHL coach. He's learning as well. But when you get to the NHL, those kind of decisions, the media obviously is a lot bigger in the NHL than it is in the AHL, and those are the decisions that are really, really, really costly.
Yeah, there's no other really way it needs to be said. Marco Sturm is trying to do what he can to get the Ontario Reign 2 points every night, and it's the same thing my college coach tells me. I'm focused on winning today.
Yeah.
However, this game Wednesday night, while the coach might be focused on winning tonight, the Ontario Reign looked like an NFL team getting ready for their rival the next week. They looked out of it, completely out of it. They were looking like, all right, forget this game. We just got out of a long road trip, 4 games in the Central, flashback to last episode and last week. We're going to just mail this in, forget this game happened, because we got 2 games against the number 1 team in the Pacific in the Colorado Eagles over the weekend. And with that being said, let's hop into game 2 as Master Skywalker. There's too many of them being the Eagles. What are we going to do? Wham! We are going to play hockey, and it's a top 2 seeded matchup between your Reign and the Colorado Eagles. In the first period, fresh out the box from a penalty, Jacob Doty committed. Fee-fi Fagimo! On a great pass from Stunica, he gets the Reign going and gets them up early. In the middle frame, Glenn Godden says, hello there. And he taps home a loose puck through Trent Miner, and it's 2-0 Ontario Reign. But in the third, I have a bad feeling about this, as Matthew Phillips scores on the power play to make it 2-1. But the force is strong with the boys in black and silver, and they take down the Eagles by the final of 2-1 and pick up 2 points. And Colorado picks up absolutely nothing.
And that is a
Huge.
big thing, and we'll get more into that in game 3. But beating your opponent without having to go to overtime, with them getting the extra point, especially in Colorado when you're chasing them in the standings at this point of the year.
Correct.
It is huge.
The Ontario Reign went into Saturday's game trailing Colorado by 8 points. This moves it down to 6. That's huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. That is awesome.
Can't overstate it.
Yeah, no. I could say it until I'm blue in the face. Anyways, getting into the goals, we're going to quickly get into this one. Playoff field type of game, by the way. Jack Sunik, a little whoop-de-doo, where you going? Both defenders. Samuel Fagimo below, right the bottom, the left circle, pops it and scores. Middle frame, Glenn Godden. 2-on-1, Martin Chromiak takes a pass with his hand, shoots it, gets right through Trent Miner's glove, and Glenn Godden is right there on the doorstep. It's 2-0 Ontario into the third period. Matthew Phillips on the power play. Passed down low by Chris Wagner, picked up, and Matthew Phillips shoves it in. Chris Wagner, Ducks legend, by the way. However, nothing else would happen. Andre Lee would just flop on the puck for the last 10 seconds. Saccone did as well for the prior 20 seconds. Doesn't matter. Ontario Reign win, pick up 2 points, and now shrink that 8-point deficit or lead. Deficit for the Reign to 6 points.
Yeah, back to what you said about Lee and Saccone. Those were two really big pins against the boards, really smart plays.
Yes.
Colorado had some good chances when they were up a man because of the empty net, and Andre Lee especially made just a really smart play. He could have tried clearing it and stuff, but instead he just held the puck against the boards. He held it for those last 10 seconds. Final buzzer sounded, crowd was hype, team was hype, and Reign win the first game of 2 against the Eagles.
The Reign now play them again on a back-to-back. Colorado's coming off of losing a game 2-1, which has got to be very unexpected for them because Colorado was tied with multiple playoff teams and the San Jose Barracuda for the leading total in goals scored this season.
Yeah.
At 220 or 219, something down that line. The Reign just cracked 200 if you need a reference.
Caleb Lawrence, how about his first AHL fight, first professional
how
fight?
about it?
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
That was a little scrum, and then you just see gloves everywhere, and Lawrence is throwing it down with, was it Jason Poland? Yeah, Jason Poland. Yeah.
Lawrence has not slotted in much since his AHL recall. When he first came up earlier in the season, I thought he was kind of impressive. Someone of
Scoring
that
goals everywhere.
stature, they don't skate the way Lawrence skates. I think he's a very good skater. He's very offensive minded, and when he got recalled, you would think that he was going to play often. Unfortunately, Marcus Sturm keeps playing someone named Quinn Olson. I don't understand why.
Well, you can understand why he played him Saturday just for the sole fact because Francesco Pinelli was out this game.
That is true, but it shouldn't take Pinelli being out for Lawrence to slot in. Because Lawrence, I believe, is a real prospect for the Kings.
Yeah.
Especially with his height and his skill set with his body. But it was good to see him get into his first AHL fight. Marco Sturm made the emphasis of, as a centerman, you need to be good when it comes to inside the dot.
Lawrence is good inside the dot.
And Lawrence is okay. He's not great, but he's okay.
Yeah.
I think I plead for Lawrence to play more because I am part of the Caleb Lawrence fan club, and I think he's a very good hockey player.
I could second that motion. Caleb Lawrence, well, the thing with faceoffs, it takes time to get better.
Yeah.
The only thing that gets you better there is time and practice. And if you give him more game reps, I think he's going to get better at it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, having a 6'7" guy like that, like we've seen what big forwards in the NHL and the AHL, Adam Klapka, could do.
Yeah.
Justin Auger. Shout out that 2015 team, Manchester Monarchs.
Transitioning into Phoenix Copley. He was once again really good. He was good against Tucson. He was good in this game against the Eagles. 1 goal allowed in each of those 2 games. 2 goals.
Yeah. 17 for 18 in this one. Phoenix Copley. I mean, at this point, it's almost like blatantly obvious. He's probably going to be the starter for the Reign once the playoffs come around.
Perhaps he is, unless the Kings request Sturm to have Portillo, which would make sense because Portillo is a prospect. But Copley has been really good. He's been rock solid down the stretch. Saccone said that he's put in front of a lot of goalies, and, Copley is definitely one of the better ones he has played in front of. He's a rock. He's a veteran. He's a leader in that locker room. So happy for him. He has continued to play well. You know who else has continued to play well?
That Martin Chromiak guy. Ever heard of him?
Martin Chromiak. He's been much more involved. He was also really good in Game 3. But Chromiak.
Another assist.
Yeah, assist in this game.
Another one.
Spoiler alert, he got an assist in Game 3 as well.
Surprise.
And he continues to impress after what was a really bumpy start for really 70% of the year. he's really rewriting his season.
I wouldn't even say 70% of the year. I would say his first 3 years in Ontario has been bumpy.
Yeah.
And now Martin Chromiak is turning up the dial and starting to make it happen for the Ontario Reign.
Making it happen.
Making it happen. That's what happens when you're on the first line with Hudon and Godin. Yeah, them third liners, by the way.
Them third liners.
Only until Francesco Pinelli goes back up to the first line. It's going to happen at some point. When? Don't know, but it will happen.
But it will happen.
I mean, that's assuming Sturm kind of reverses course and doesn't make any more line changes this year.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
In this game, we saw Lawrence slot in 4C with Doty. Is there anything else you really talk about? I mean, Sacconi's playing with Hicketts now, starting in game 1.
Yeah,
against Tucson. That was another thing that was interesting.
Hicketts, Sacconi. I mean, Jones, Millar, Dvorak, Walsh. That's been the same since pretty much all week. No, that's not true. Jones and Walsh. And well, you know what? I'm going to backtrack a little bit to game 1 here. Jones and Walsh is absolute. That's tomfoolery.
Yeah. Because it was Dvorak Millar.
I mean, just like, I'm going to open up a little bit on a rant here, but you can't put 2 offensive defensemen on the same line.
Do you like Dvorak Walsh?
Oh my God. It's not much better, but it's better than Jones Walsh, in my opinion.
That's funny.
I mean, Jack Millar and Caleb Jones, I think, makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
That makes way more sense to me. Jones is an offensive mind, and Jack Millar is defensive minded. You got to have a little bit of balance. Then Dvorak and Walsh, no comment. Anyways.
When Angus Booth comes back, who are you taking out?
Hot take, I'm taking out Riley Walsh, though.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Riley Walsh, out of that matter, we might be being very close to him being taken out now for Luke Rowe.
Man, Luke Rowe didn't make an appearance this week, huh?
No, he did not. He was scratched all 3 games. No injury from what we know.
Yeah, I don't think there's an injury.
I don't have an injury. Tate Singleton was called up for game 3. Didn't put that in the Zamboni cleaning either. And little story here before we get into game 3, as I'm hopping on the elevator to head up to media section with you. We go down to the main floor because I'm on floor 2. You go down to floor 1. And, look who joins us. It's Quinn Olson, Eric Portillo, and Tate Singleton. All of them with their Chipotle. We go back up to floor 2. The elevator opens up, and Tate Singleton starts walking out. What?
Singleton, he's a like small kid, huh?
Yeah, he's 5'9", 5'8", something down that line. Doesn't matter. And then I just out of the blue, I'm like, Tate, you're not going to sit in 105, are you? Yeah, hops back in and then heads up to floor 3. And then I was basically hiding behind Portillo when I got off.
Portillo's a big dude.
He's 6'6".
Yeah,
for the
big
people at home.
Dude.
Big boy.
Very lanky too.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Now, let's get into game 3. Rerun it at Toyota Arena. Oh, wait, hold on. It's me again. It's game 2 against the Colorado Eagles as the Reign look to get within 4 points of the standings. First period, you guessed it, Fee-Fi Fagimo gets his 27th of the year. But before he could get a little too excited, them Eagles counterpunch with their wing. Wow.
Sounds dry.
As Callie Rosen gets one 39 seconds later, we're tied at 1. Don't worry, even though I never had a godfather, Glenn is there to take that role. That's him, by the way. Caught and scores to make it 2-1 Reign. I definitely had a godfather, pardon me. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Jacob McDonald, the defenseman who just happens to be Cale Makar at this level, orders the 2 cheeseburger meal, scoring the second goal of the game for Colorado and evening this one before the first period expires. In the second period, Mark Sendin sends his mark, scoring a shorty to make it 3-2 Eagles. But right before the second period ends, and Francesco Pinelli, we are tied at 3. Third period, Colorado has Ontario pinned against the boards and hemmed in their own end, and it's Jack Ashawn putting Colorado out in front with 2 minutes left. Oh boy, this isn't good. But 32 seconds later, with 32 seconds left, Glenn Gaudin scores his second goal of the game and the Reign tie it up. But wait, Andre Lee scores 22 seconds later, scoring with 11 seconds left, gives us a little on anime night. Kamehameha! 5-4 Reign, they win. Successful, they have bird hunting, and they win the week. I didn't lose my voice. I was actually trying to there. Unlike Jared Shafford.
Great call.
His voice was gone.
Great call.
That absolutely is going in the playoff hype video, by the way.
What a game.
Absolutely.
What a series.
Our reaction to Andre Lee's goal was just awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot to
Pure elation.
to dive into this game. Let's start with the goals real quick.
Yeah, very quickly. Let's get into the goals. Samuel Fagemo, first shot for the Reign. Little how you doing? Scheel? Whatever it is. Scheel. Yeah, that guy. In net for Colorado. Can't get it under his glove. Getting even. Ingham tries to cover a puck up. It gets loose. Callie Rosen gets it past two pretty much helpless Reign players, and it's a tie game. Into the second period, Hudon, great pass ahead. Glenn Gaudin, Roof Daddy-O Jr., it's 2-1 Ontario. Now, Jacob McDonald, his 29th goal of the year. He has more goals than the Reign. Might I add to you, he's a defenseman. Jacob McDonald is a defenseman with 29 goals this year. Power play goal from the right circle. Tie game. Second period, Mark Senden, short-handed. Mark sending it in. Goes 5-hole. Close them legs. Jacob Ingham. It's 3-2 on Colorado. Excuse me. Then, with 38 seconds left in the period, Planet Parade down concourse. Francesco Pinelli scores a power play goal, and it's a tie game heading into the third period. Nothing going really the first 15 minutes. Then Colorado pretty much hems Ontario Reign in their own end, and Jack Ashawn just tries to poke a puck through, and it barely sneaks past the goal line. It's 4-3 with 2:23 to play. Ontario clears their net with about a minute 15 left, and it's Glenn Gaudin. So, with a little bit of context here, I think it's Wyatt Ahmet, and I want to say it was Andre Lee getting into a little scrum on the boards. Ahmet starts something. Lee, with no intent whatsoever, rips his helmet off. So Ahmet has to go to the bench because you can't play without a helmet, or that's a penalty.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And with that spot, ice opens up. They end up shifting a little too late to their box, and Glenn Gaudin just slides right in the middle, says, "Thank you very much. Let me go top shelf again." And we got a tie game. But guess what? Just when we're thinking like, oh, this game's going to overtime. Yeah, you thought. Taylor Ward, great bump pass. Andre Lee, little dipsy doodle 5-hole, and an absolute banger of a call by Jared Shaffrin, including the loss of his vocal cords.
Yeah, what a goal. I mean, this is probably the most exciting goal I've ever seen at Toyota Arena.
He damn well near blew that roof off.
I can't remember a louder goal that I've ever seen inside that arena.
Alex Turcotte last year is about the only thing I think that competes.
Yeah, I mean Lee, I think it was a combination of like a shock factor and just pure elation that the Reign were going to win this game when they looked down and out.
Colorado was going to walk out with nothing. That was my thought to it.
Yeah, Colorado, it's like we said earlier, it's like it's so important to win the game in regulation. And when Ashawn scores the go-ahead goal with about 2:30 left in the game, you're thinking, well, I mean, we're worrying about overtime, but now you're not even going to get any points, and they're going to go ahead, and they're going to run away with the division. I mean, that was pretty much it. That was all she wrote with that division. And
the Reign.
Then Gaudin scores, blows the roof off the first time, and then while
the roof is trying to be taped back together, Andre Lee sends the roof into the stratosphere.
Yeah, Jeff Pope was still announcing the goal of Gaudin's goal, and then Andre Lee just sends the arena into a fury. If you watch the replay, it's really a really cool thing.
Yeah,
you see everybody just fly out of their seats
all at once.
Super loud
everyone's
arena.
hands go up. All I do is win, no matter. All right, we're not getting copyrighted.
I also don't think I expected Andre Lee to make a move like that.
Yeah,
I mean, a little toe drag it, and then just went through the 5-hole.
Just your little flashback to last year. Did you expect Akil Thomas to go spin move, backhand, Roof Daddy-O Jr. on Dustin Wolf, by the way?
I don't think you expect him to do that, but
No.
if you think if you were to tell me, hey, there's someone on the Reign who's going to hit this goal, who do you think it's going to be? I would have been like Akil Thomas would have been a top 3 choice, right? I can see Akil, I'd probably go Clark Thomas, Turcotte, those top 3.
I would say
else on the
Clark,
Reign,
Turcotte, then Fagemo.
forget
Or Madden,
maybe
because Madden likes doing those moves.
Akil Thomas would be top 5, right?
Yeah, he would be.
If you told me that this would happen, I'm not picking Andre Lee in my top 8. You know what I'm saying? So, just an unreal finish to what was a game that they were not supposed to win.
Yeah.
Those last 5 minutes of the game, Colorado hemmed Ontario into their own zone, and it looked like they were down and out. They couldn't even pull the goalie because they were just hemmed in until like a minute, 5 seconds left until the final buzzer.
Yeah. And, well, surprise, surprise, Ontario pulls 2 goals from out of thin air and win this game.
Yeah.
I mean, just a note, like, Colorado fans, Adam Scheel, my God. From a goalie performance, that was horrible.
Wasn't great.
I'm not gonna go any further because the Reign won. I'm happy, and I'm not here to just thrash guys. But that was horrible.
Trent Miner's in there with the Reign to win that game.
No,
I don't.
The Reign get blown out probably.
Man,
let's be real here.
So many storylines from this game. I mean, the second line with Lee, Studnicka, and Figima has just been unreal as of late. It seems like any line Studnicka's on, that line just gets hot. But especially with Figima, I mean, they're just playing amazing right now.
Definitely. Lee, Studnicka, and Figima are not going to be separated by the playoffs. I can guarantee you that.
You can't. That's your best line.
Marco Sturm's going to be legally obligated to not move them.
Yeah, that line has been unreal.
Believe it or not.
The first line of Udon, Godin, and Chromiak has also been
good.
Really
Another
good.
assist for Martin Chromiak, by the way.
Yeah, Martin Chromiak has really elevated his game since he got on that line with Godin and Udon, and they've been playing just fantastic.
And another thing is, we just stayed the top 6 right there, but the top 6 in transition, specifically this game, is a testament to how good they've been this year.
Yeah. Their transition offense has been, I mean, if we're being honest, their forecheck offense has not been good as of late at all, but their transition offense has really picked up that slack. They've been fantastic. I mean, I think in every goal in this game, I think it was off transition.
Oh, certainly.
So, yeah, man, they have been really good.
Yeah. I mean, another shorthanded goal. It's Colorado's 15th shorthanded goal of the year. That's a lot of shorthanded goals.
Yeah, Chromiak with a really bad play at the offensive blue line. Just Mark Sennin takes the puck and just a beeline straight to Ingham.
And goes a 5-hole. Yeah, and then we already brought up how Ontario was pretty much hemmed for the last 5 minutes, results in a Sean's goal. And then those 2 goals. That's a miracle. That was a miracle.
The vibe underneath in the tunnel was just unbelievable. I mean, you have guys screaming in the weight room.
You'll see it in the interview. You're not going to see it, actually. You'll hear it in the interview.
Yeah, just let's go. You have Taylor Ward coming next to me with his phone, acting like he's media. You have Fagimo, don't know where he found this, but found another microphone that Shafran uses for the interviews. I don't know where he found it. He comes up next to me.
Oh my goodness.
He comes up next to me and puts the mic in Lee's face. Don't know where he found it again. He just came up behind me. I was like, oh shoot, he has a microphone.
Hello. Just like, how you doing?
He asked a question as if he was media. Definitely a better hockey player than he is a reporter.
Well,
but
he's not here to do media. He's here to play hockey. He's here to play hockey. He's here to bury the biscuit. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and so the vibe was unreal. I asked Sturm. I said, does the crowd have anything to do with, these past 2 games? I mean, sold out crowd Saturday and another really big crowd Sunday. And he looked at me and he said, absolutely. And that they were just talking about it after the game, how the crowd has just come out this year. Last 2 games, they've been unbelievable. They're loud. They're into the game.
Yeah.
And he
the support of the fans, let's just say this year, compared to last year, the support of the fans this year has been on another level. Level. Last year, Reign fans really set the trend. This year, we're through the roof.
Yeah, and
it's through the roof.
And even
now.
After the game, there was some autograph thing going on after the game.
There was a little all-in membership stuff with Jones, Jam. Yeah, I know. I know, right? Jones, Jammer, and Element. I just had to remember he had a fedora on.
Yeah, so I walked out of media today, and there was just like a line, a really big one. I'm like, what is this for? Oh, autograph thing. Oh, okay. But Sturm praised the fans. He said that he thinks that's why they're so bad on Wednesdays, like I said earlier, because the fans still show up on Wednesdays, if we're being honest, but it's not as much, It's not like the weekends.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, man, it really is special to see, and I'm really grateful, again, to just be able to be a part of it. as media.
And I'm grateful that I got to be part of the fans that are just helping this team try to pick up 2 points every night.
Yeah.
And one more thing to the fan that said, make it rain to me, like by the Sky Bar during this first intermission. What's up? Appreciate the support. And
Someone told you that?
yes. And with that, let's hop into the rain weather report brought to you by that. Yeah, don't go any louder, huh? Do I have the 100% this week?
Yes. A lot of guys you can choose from, man.
Yeah, I'm going to take Glenn Gaudin for 2 goals on Sunday. Twice on Sunday, as we like to say here. Take it every day of the week, and we'll take him twice on Sundays. Glenn Gaudin, 3 goals this week. No assists, so not a pass-first kind of player. We can get into the other pass-first kind of player. Charles Hudon. I'm going to have Gaudin and Hudon co-100% this week.
Okay.
Gaudin 3 goals, Hudon 4 assists. Balances out, same thing. Hudon had 3 assists on Sunday. Just what felt like everything that's gone right. I'm going to start with Hudon. So Hudon had the primary assist on both of Gaudin's goals Sunday, and then the secondary on Pinelli's power play goal. By the way, Andre Lee, great feed down low in front, and all Pinelli had to do was just tip that puck in. Couldn't think of who it was for a second. And then Hudon had the secondary assist on, you guessed it, Gaudin's goal. So Hudon was assisted in all of Gaudin's goals, and then Glenn Gaudin, 3 goals, all very timely. Nothing else really needs to be said about that, and I got a pretty good feeling that the other kind of big goal scorer this week is going at your 50%.
Glenn Gaudin is officially having the best year in his AHL career.
Yep, he set a career high in AHL goals today and points.
Yeah, 24 goals compared to 22 goals last year with the San Diego goals.
Suck.
I just can't speak. They sound the exact same.
Yeah, that's true.
Then,
56 points. He passes 55 points he had with the San Diego goals last year. So, Glenn Gaudin, yep. On the rain, you play 6 less games, and you have more points than you did with the San Diego goals.
And the big difference here, which is why I would say by far the best year, is he has a 20 rating, a 20 plus minus. And with the San Diego goals, he had a minus 11, and the year before that, minus 26.
Minus 26 is bonkers.
So he has really elevated what he is defensively this season. I mean, just an unbelievable year, unbelievable pickup for the Reign. I mean, really helping Sturm out when it comes to, his coaching status. And then Charles Hudon, man. Charles Hudon has really gone under the radar a little bit this season. What is he, like top 10 in the AHL? I
think he is top 10 assists. Let's take a look here as I've got it all pulled up. Charles Hudon is 6th in the American Hockey League in assists with 40 behind right now in the Anaheim Ducks, Tristan Luneau with 41. Derek Pouliot of the Syracuse Crunch with 42. Chris Terry, the Bridgeport Islanders. Bridgeport Islanders are awful this year, by the way. 43. Podorowski from San Jose, probably the Pacific League MVP. Let's be real here. 43 assists. And then Seth Griffith of the Bakersfield Condors leads the American Hockey League with 45 assists. Here's the difference. You don't reference Seth Griffith and Chris Terry as shooters compared to Charles Hudon.
Yeah, 100%. And
now Griffith has 18 goals, Terry has 19 goals, and Hudon also has 19 goals. But Hudon is also a very more renowned shooter than he is a passer.
While we're talking about these guys, it is worth noting that TJ Tynan was out for the Eagles, which is a big deal. But the Reign also did not have Jeff Malott, who has been with the Reign all season.
So it's a kind of like an equal blow for both sides.
Kind of equal blow, So, but Hudon and Gaudin, I mean, they have been really killing it, especially together. Sturm has really not split them apart much this season. You can't.
You can't split them apart now. I mean, unless someone gets hurt, then that's just, you got to do what you got to do at that point because you're not. No one's playing with broken shins. And by the way, Hudon blocking shots in absolute crazy,
he was going down
in crazy oblivion today. Just unreal. Yeah, very much deserving of the 100%, both of them.
Yeah.
And if you want to throw Chromiak in there and just put the whole first line at 100%, you can go right ahead and do that. Who do you have at 50?
I got Samuel Fagemo at the 50%. Samuel Fagemo, he was struggling a little bit towards the middle part of the year. He gets back on a line with Stunica. And they have just been unbelievable, just like the first line. That maybe the second line is debatably better than the first line right now.
Oh, no doubt.
Fagemo assisted by Stunica. And then you go into game 3, Fagemo again, the first period, assisted by Stunica. And then if you go down the list a little bit, On Godin's goal, he was on with Udon, and Fagemo got the secondary assist. So a good week for Samuel Fagemo and Jack Stunica too, and Andre Lee. I mean, a lot of guys on the Reign had a good week this week. I could have easily given the 50 to Stunica just because of the impact that he's made when he was on a line with Lee and Ward. That line was crazy. Then he goes back on a line with Lee and Fagemo. Then Fagemo starts going crazy.
Yes.
Stunica really has been really, really good this year. Another guy who's kind of gone under the radar. And in all honesty, if Stunica was a little bit better at faceoffs, I think he would get called up to the NHL.
Oh, my goodness. Like, here's the thing. So, in terms of that NHL call-up, as we were both talking about this before, Jeff Malott was more fitting to replace Tanner Jeannot
100%
than Jack Stunica was. If, per se, Turcotte's already down, I would bring him up, but I'm not going to. Who's been a good center for him? Like, Fiala's a winger.
Byfield.
I mean, if Quinn Byfield goes down, Jack Stunica is the one that's going to get called up.
Yeah, I think...
Or the lines shift up and somebody files in.
Well, they still have like a Akil Thomas and like, you know, all these guys who haven't played. But yeah, when it comes to Malott, he's definitely the most polished forward on the Reign. And is he the best forward? I don't know. That's up to like Stern to decide or whatnot.
That's up for debate.
But Malott, when it comes to the best forward-checking forward, right? Malott's up there. Can he shoot? Yes, he has an appetite for scoring.
Yeah.
Playmaking, puck-moving skills, Malott is top 3 again, right? So
defensive physicality, he's absolutely there.
He's there,
also.
right? Penalty kill, he's there. Power play, he's there. So he is the most polished forward on the Reign. You can't bring up Godin, he's not physical enough. You can't bring up Udon, he's not physical enough. Stunica, definitely not physical enough. Fagemo, especially him, right? So Malott was definitely the best guy to come up for the Kings.
That's the number one decision.
And losing him, it definitely hurts.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So going back to Samuel Fagemo being the 50%, Fagemo now is tied for 9th place in the American Hockey League with goals. Oh, wait, my bad. He's tied for 7th in a 4-way tie with 27 goals with Isak Rosen of the Rochester Americans, Rory Cairns of the Calgary Wranglers, and Bradley Nadeau of the Chicago Wolves. He is behind... I still think it's crazy Jacob McDonald has 29 goals as a defenseman.
That is pretty crazy.
That is wild.
You know what is pretty crazy too? Fagemo, I mean, this is technically like a down year because he had that huge stretch in the middle of the season where he just wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
And he's still in top 10.
That is crazy to think. And then the top of the goals, it's Podorowski at 30, John Leonard of the Charlotte Checkers at 32, Alex Steves at 34 of the Toronto Marlies, and then Texas Stars, Mate Blumel leads the American Hockey League with 38 goals right now. I mean, he's going to be putting up Adam Gaudette numbers from last year.
Yeah.
Point totals, Andrew Podorowski is right now the runaway favorite at 73 points. Hudon is 6th at 59.
Yeah.
Gaudin is 8th at 56, or tied for 7th.
Both elite players in the American Hockey League.
Yeah, and that's about it for the Reign in terms of stats. 0% I'm giving it to Joe Ciccone, just kind of because, not because he's a bad person.
I love
honestly, looks like a cool dude, and we're sharing the same name, so gotcha. But defensively Wednesday, just the breakdowns. I mean, I if I were to put a little bit of the blame on somebody, it's him. He looked sluggish on Wednesday.
He definitely has not been the best defenseman on this team at all. But I think he's doing just enough. He talked a little bit about how he needs to stop playing like for the system, just do what works for him. He mentioned that in his post game after Saturday. You know, and I think he has higher expectations for himself.
Yes.
You know, but yeah,
we have high expectations for him too, especially if you're on the first line defensive pairing.
And
with
honestly,
Joe Hicketts.
And honestly, with Hicketts, it hasn't looked bad.
The Joe line. Joe Hicketts, Joe Ciccone. Yeah, close enough.
There you go. Hey.
And Joe O'Regan on this podcast. Here we go.
We're starting a movement. The Joe pairing. Jaring. What do you call it? The Jaring.
No, we're not going any further into this. We'll be here for a while.
Jaring.
The Jaring. That's one, dude.
What do we got next week, Joe?
Next week, the Ontario Reign right now are 4 points back of the Colorado Eagles for first place with 64 games played each, which means 8 games left for both teams. Now, the Ontario Reign magic number for points is 2, which means now the Ontario Reign can win in their own destiny. However, The Bakersfield Condors do play, or excuse me, the Tucson Roadrunners do play Tuesday night. They play Calgary. If Tucson loses that game in regulation, it's already over. Rain will clinch that night. And then Abbotsford plays Bakersfield. And then if Bakersfield loses, they fall in the 8th place and will jumble up whatever it might be there. Wednesday, 7 p.m., up to Tech CU Arena. The Rain go to take on Andrew Podorowski and the San Jose Barracuda. Other games in the division, Calgary and Tucson, Abbotsford and San Diego, Colorado and Coachella Valley. That is a huge game.
Yo, San Diego, Mario
right now is coming back.
Mario brought this up to me.
Don't call it a comeback.
Dude, San Diego's there. I had no idea. San Diego is right there.
Yeah, don't call it a comeback. We're going to show you we'll talk about the standings real quick now that you bring this up. First place, Colorado Eagles, 84 points. Ontario Reign second at 80. Abbotsford, Coachella Valley are both tied for third at 77. Abbotsford is the upper hand with regulation wins. Whew. San Jose, 73 points in fifth. Calgary, 71 points in sixth. Bakersfield is starting to close in on Calgary at 66 points in seventh. Tucson in eighth at 65. San Jose at 62. They are 4 points out of a playoff spot now, folks. That's what happens when you bring Steen Solberg into your lineup.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
So we were both at the Ducks thing. I forget what it was called.
It was like I forgot what it was called too.
It was something that they had in June. It was like a conference with Verbeek and everyone else. And then Seneca. Great reaction, by the way, to the draft. You already know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. And then Steen Solberg was there also, along with a couple of other guys. Niko Mijatovic was also there. If we remember it, we'll bring it up. But that's besides the point. Steen Solberg also scored his first American Hockey League goal. All right, now let me get off the goals here. And then Henderson and Dead last at 58 points. They've kind of cooled off. Yeah. So you've got, right now, if the season ended today, Colorado gets the bye. Ontario plays Bakersfield. Abbotsford plays Calgary. And Coachella is at home against San Jose. Coachella and San Jose would be a barn burner. Let me tell you. Yeah, buddy. With that being said, all right, going back into the standings now. Thursday, San Diego and Iowa. San Jose and Colorado. That's huge for San Jose. Like, dude, there's honestly a shot San Jose could drop to the 7th seed with losses in that regard. After that, Bakersfield and Tucson, the 7 and the 8 are going at it. And then the Laval Rocket head west to take on the Abbotsford Canucks. What? And then, oh my goodness, I am just all over the place, folks. Coachella Valley plays Henderson Thursday night. Now, Friday, Ontario goes up to Calgary Saturday. All right, you know what? Scratch it. Beep. We're going to redo this. April 1st, April Fool's Day, Abbotsford, Bakersfield, Calgary, Tucson. The 2nd, Wednesday, at San Jose at 7 p.m. for the Rain. Calgary, Tucson, Abbotsford, San Diego, Colorado, Coachella Valley. Friday, April 4th, San Diego and Iowa, San Jose, Colorado, Coachella Valley and Henderson. That game doesn't matter. Now let me get myself caught back up. Saturday, Rain at Calgary, 12:30 start time. You got to be ready to go for that one, huh? Coachella Valley and Henderson, San Jose, Colorado. Again, Bakersfield, Tucson, Laval Rocket, and Abbotsford. All right, now we're back on track. Sunday, Rain at Calgary, 12 p.m. start time. This is the earliest the Rain have played all year, by the way. There was a little bit of a time change. This happened a couple of months ago, so bear with us. San Diego and Iowa, again. Bakersfield and Tucson, 7 and 8 matchup. And then the Laval Rocket and the Abbotsford Canucks. And for the people at home, the Laval Rocket right now are the best team in the American Hockey League at 88 points. That Montreal Canadiens future's looking bright if you want to go off that alone.
Picture this. All right, close your eyes. Let's say, imagine San Diego making the comeback and the Rain don't end up winning the division, but they get the 2 seed. And then you have a Rain goals round 1.
I would be manifesting
best
that.
of 3.
Please.
And they would be 1, 2, 3, as in 1 in Ontario, 2 in San Diego.
No.
It would be 3.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's what they did last year in Bakersfield, remember?
Yes.
Because it was so close together that they just bounced.
Yeah.
Which is a bullcrap rule, by the way. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, if it's 500 miles apart,
Oh,
then
yeah, you just
get all
cursed,
three.
by the way.
Bullcrap?
Yeah.
That's not cursed.
Close enough.
I just don't understand that. It's so
Yeah.
dumb. You work the entire season to get all 3 games at home, but if
Certainly.
it's close enough, then you gotta go play on the road. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it is a very stupid rule. It's like the AHL's just being cheap and they don't want to pay for flights now.
Unreal.
And the owners. Anyways, another sort of big, another shakeup can really happen in the standings. We could start to see separation between Abbotsford and Coachella. We could see Ontario fall out of the 2 seed too if they're not on up
we're
to par.
seeing shakeups every week.
We're
when we come back.
gonna see it. We're gonna see it every week. Like you can blink, you wake up the next day, and then
Boom.
next thing you know, San Diego might be in 7th place. You never know.
Boom.
Boom. Anyways, that wraps up episode 27. Yes, of the Make It Rain podcast. Thank you very much for watching. You know the drill from here on out. You can subscribe down below. You can follow us over on Instagram, X, and TikTok. By the way, that's back. At Make It Rain Pod. We thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Enjoy the afternoon games. My goodness. Thank you, Calgary.